Ciao, so we are in between the recipes. Whilst Julie's Christmas pudding ingredients are marinating nicely, I'm going to do one of my recipes. And today I will be baking a beautiful cream puff wreath with yogurt cream and chocolate. And I'm making a choux pastry first, and I'll start with some water in a saucepan, followed by some butter. As always, the ingredients will be listed in the description, and a pinch of salt. And I'll move to the hob. I turn my hob on maximum on number 9, and I'm now melting the butter. Within no time at all, as there's only little water, the water starts boiling and the butter obviously has melted, and I'm going to add all of my flour and mix it. Actually, I'm going to swap for a wooden spoon as it's going to be easier, and I'm going to turn the temperature down as well to a medium-low, and I'll mix constantly. And I'm going to cook this again on medium-low for a few minutes until it thickens and it forms a single mass. The reason why I swapped for a wooden spoon, by the way, is that obviously it's more rigid and I can really compact it properly. And now it looks ready, but do not be tempted, just leave it for 2 or 3 minutes. Great, that looks very good. So I'm now going to spread it out across the base of my pan. I'll turn the heat off and I will leave it aside to cool down for a few minutes. Now, whilst the dough cools down, I'm going to show you how we came up with the perfect size in terms of our wreath. I will be using an ice cream scoop to ensure that I get equal size bowls. And Julie and I had a debate, and we came up with this brilliant solution using these glasses, shot glasses, as a way to help us with the template. And I only got 8, I broke one. So we came up with something like that, and that gave me an idea that roughly would be the diameter I'm looking for. And this is a bowl which I'll be using as a template, and it measures 14.5 centimeters in diameter. As they cook, they will puff out and they will expand, so the circle needs to be a little bit smaller. You might be wondering, what are you doing, Francesco? I'll show you. So here is my 14.5 centimeters in diameter bowl. I'll place it in the middle of some baking paper, of course. And using a marker, I'm going to draw a circle on the outside. Very simple, just like this. Finished with the bowl, that can come away.
I need that for my Christmas puddings, believe it or not.
I'll turn this the other way around, and this will be my template for my wreath. Now you might be thinking, why have you shown us that, Francesco? That's because if you want to make a bigger one or a smaller one, as long as your ice cream scoop and the edge of your glass are of a similar size, you can then adjust it accordingly. But I'll give you the dimensions of this one in the description if you want to make an exact replica of mine. So my dough is nice and cool, hasn't got to be stone cold, enough for it not to cook the eggs, which is what I'm going to be adding next. And I'll add 4 eggs, and I will be adding one at a time. And there it goes. And I will incorporate it in my dough, and I will not be adding the next one until this has been totally absorbed. And to ensure that the egg is properly absorbed, I'm giving it a good old beat so that there is no doubt that it's definitely going in. And there it is, you can see that there is no more liquid left on the egg, and I can add another one. Ideally without the shell in it. And off I go again. Final egg, and there it goes. And definitely no doubt about it, you will need a wooden spoon for this job. A little bit of elbow grease and you will get there in no time at all. And the beating is quite important because that is what we believe is what gets the air inside it.
Go on, give it some welly.
Yeah, I'll give it some welly. But if you look, it's quite remarkable how
all of a
changes.
Sudden, yeah.
Yes, all of a sudden it goes from semi-liquid to a very nice and smooth consistency. Right, I don't need to go to the gym today.
Just tell everybody, when was the last time you went to the gym, dear?
I run and I go on my bicycle. And that is it, actually. I think that's perfectly done, and that is the sort of consistency you're looking for. And back to the fun part. Little batter to ensure that my paper gets stuck to the tray. And I'll place my paper on top.
Pen down, yeah?
Yeah, bend down and try and have this as close to the middle as possible. I'm now switching my wooden spoon for a spatula, as I think it's going to be handier later. Ice cream scoop, and I'll dip in some water first. Normal cold water is fine. And quite simply, go along and make sure that you get a nice flat scoop. And I'm going to place this with the edge just inside my circle. Something like that. Water. Remember to dip in the water, otherwise it won't come out easily. And I'm going to go to the opposite side. Don't worry, they don't have to be perfect.
Blimey,
they will blow.
He's really risking it now.
Water. I'll be honest with you, I've made 2 mistakes already. Julie reminded me.
I keep shouting water.
And here's my last one. There. They do move a little, so by all means you can actually play if you like. Here, I've also got some left over, so what I thought I'll do with that, I'll get a little teaspoon and I'll put a little piece on top, so that will give me a nice shape as well. Just like this, I've been putting a little teaspoon on top of each of my bowls, just like this, and here's the last one. Remember, always dip it in water before you do the next bit with this, and as you move from your water to your choux pastry, make sure that you shake all of the water, otherwise you will end up with a very watery mix, which you don't want. And they're ready to go in the oven. The paper, by the way, make sure that it's nice and large, as they will grow considerably. They will go in for 30 minutes altogether. The first 15 minutes are at 200 degrees. The second lot of 15 minutes, I will lower the temperature down by 20 degrees to 180. Mine is a fan oven. If you've got a normal conventional oven, just up the temperature by 10 degrees in both cases. I'll see in about half an hour. And I'm back and they are cooked, look, and they look absolutely beautiful. By the way, once the half an hour passed, I turned the oven off and I left the door open for a good half an hour so that they would cool down gradually. And now they've been out of the oven for a good 20 minutes, so they're nice and cold. But before I start with the cutting of them, I wanted to show you how much they've grown by. I've got my tape measure here, and they measure about 11 inches, 28 centimeters that way, and 25, 10 inches that way. So you can see how much they're grown by. As I mentioned, they've gone almost over the tray as well. But I'll put them on one side and I'll crack on with the cream next. And in case you're wondering what that is, by the way, the big pot, they are Julie's Christmas puddings that she just made. I will put a link up here if you'd like the recipe, and you can try them yourselves as well. So first of all, some double cream. This is fresh double cream, straight out of the fridge. Always ensure that it's cold out of the fridge, and I'll pour it into a large bowl. And using my electric whisk, I will mix it together, but not for very long, until it's nice and smooth, otherwise it'll turn into batter. Pretty much something like this is perfect. I will want to make sure that it forms soft peaks. I will be piping this, so I don't want it too liquidy, but equally well, I don't want it too hard either. This is natural yogurt. I will be adding it to my cream next, like so.
And it's a 50-50 mix, isn't it? 50% cream.
50-50, but it will be in the ingredients, of course, in the description. I'm cleaning my spatula, and if you're wondering what about sugar, I'm not going to be adding any sugar, as I will be using some chocolate. That'll be chocolate spread, and that's going to be very sweet, so I don't need to put any sugar at this stage. And I will now give it a very quick and gentle mix together so that the cream and the yogurt are combined together. Literally, no more than 5-10 seconds to the very, very maximum. And that is absolutely perfect.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Ooh. Wrong way.
Blimey.
So I'll move the cream out of the way and I'll bring my Wreath back. And as it has been resting, it should be very easy to remove now. Let's have a look. There you go. It's free from the paper. So I will remove it on my worktop. We're just back from Sicily, and one of the reasons why I'm making this cake is because of this beautiful plate we bought, and I thought, oh, something like a wreath would be perfect. So as I'm going to be filling it in a moment, I will be just moving it away from my paper onto my plate so that it's ready. Something like this. I'll try with a bread knife. If not, I'll have to revert to a steak knife, but that should be okay. So very gently, I'll place my hand on top of my wreath, and I'll start slicing it. Yeah, I think it's working very well. Very gently, just take your time, do not rush, you do not want to spoil it now. And make sure that you do not apply too much pressure with your left hand so that you don't squash them either. But I think this is my last one, yes it is. There. Now, they might come apart anyway, but I'll try my best to see if I can keep it all in one piece, but I'm not going to be able to. But I'll just remove the cap anyway, one by one. However, I was lucky on this side, as they've all come up together. Look, oh, almost together. Perfect. So, left and right. I'm now filling my piping bag with the cream, and I start filling my bases with the cream. And here is my last one, and I've actually just finished the cream, so if you were to stick to the quantities in the description for this recipe, it should be perfect. And as it is Christmas, we have decided to put some raspberries in the middle, which I've chopped up in little pieces, but you can choose anything you like. You can put blueberries or strawberries, it would be quite a nice touch, or even grapes, but whatever you put in the middle, make sure that you have it. Another option, by the way, is that you mix your raspberries or blueberries, grapes, whatever, with the mixer when you're blending them. Entirely up to you, it doesn't make much difference, but like this they will be a little bit more visible.
That would have made them pink, wouldn't it? Would have made the cream pink.
Would have made the cream pink, most probably, yes. That's great. Moving on to the chocolate spread next. New piping bag, slightly smaller nozzle, filled with some chocolate spread. This is Italian leading brand chocolate spread, but you can use anything you like, as long as it's nice and sweet, of course. And I'll go around the outside, and I'll just do a little circle like so, spread it in very gently, and I'll stop. I'll do it once again. You can use a smaller nozzle if you like, depending on how much you like chocolate spread, but you do not need to go mad because it's very sweet. I'll do the rest and I'll show you how to finish it off on the top. And here it is, all done, and next I'm going to find the respective tops, and here they are. I'll start here and I'll put them on top, back where they belong. Oh, like this. Reference the chocolate spread, by the way, I meant to say, ensure that it's not too cold so that you can actually pipe it, but equally well also, you mustn't be too watery or too liquidy either, otherwise it'll go all over the place. Just like this, like I did, it's absolutely perfect. Room temperature. As long as your room temperature is not too hot. And here I've got my last three, and they just go on top beautifully. Perfect. So we're nearly there. The finishing touches is what we've got left. And I'll start the top layer with some icing sugar, which I'll generously sprinkle on top of everything.
To make it look Christmassy.
Indeed. Followed by a little bit more chocolate spread. I have got this syringe looking thing, which we bought but we've never used, and I thought that'd be a great opportunity to do so. But if you were using a piping bag, again a smaller nozzle this time, that'd be perfectly okay as well. I'm just keen to see how it works. So a little that and push up. And here is my last one there. I have to be honest, with hindsight I should have done the icing sugar afterwards, because on a couple of occasions I noticed that the Nutella was coming off, but I wanted the Nutella to be chocolate spread, to be nice and vibrant. Oops. So that's why I've done it like this, but that's perfectly okay.
Impressive. Oh, and we're not finished yet, there's more.
Yes, there is more. I got 9 raspberries. I picked the most beautiful ones, and I'm gonna be placing each one on top of my blob of chocolate spread, like so. Be most like a Christmas tree, if you see what I mean.
Yes, dear, if you say so.
I think so.
If Christmas trees were pink.
Well, the shape of a Christmas tree. She's really, really mean to me.
Sorry if you can hear in the background that banging. That's actually my Christmas puddings sizzling or
Yes,
bubbling away. They're simmering. I think I need to turn them down a bit.
And that is my last one. If you like, you can put my icing sugar on top, and the raspberries will look even more Christmassy, but mine is going to go in the fridge overnight anyway, so it's no point. But that is pretty much finished. I think it looks perfect.
Lovely. I'm looking forward to those.
And it weighs quite a bit. It is a cake which we will be eating tomorrow for after lunch with the family. So there are 9 portions here, so I will not be tasting it. But I'm sure you get the gist. It looks absolutely superb, and I'm sure it will taste superb. So if you do make it and you want some tips, by all means send me a message, and I will be delighted to help. And if you don't make it but you still enjoy the video, just give me a big thumbs up, and that would be just as good. Thank you very much for watching, and happy Christmas, and see you later. Ciao, ciao.